Welcome back to Infamously Speaking. And OKC are the NBA Finals champions. Just as I predicted, just one game. I guess I didn't give the Pacers enough credit. But we're here to react to that. Quan was one game away from pulling a crazy prediction. The Pacers, credit to them, an incredible season. And Oklahoma City comes out on top. First and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the Infamously Speaking YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. Also hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever we drop content like this. We had a video earlier today reacting to the Kevin Durant trade. That was crazy. And of course, now we hear back again talking about how Oklahoma City won the NBA Finals. Also, Infamously Speaking merch is live. Go and get yours. Link is in the description below. Fire options. I got the green with the white embroidery. We have plenty of options. I gotta get Quan's merch out to him. He's waiting on a coupon code, so I'm gonna have to get his merch out to him.
I've been liking and sharing, man. I should get like something for doing that.
He has been liking and sharing, so I'll give him that. All right, so let's just jump into it. Let's jump right into it. OKC wins Game 7, 103-91. Obviously, the big story early, Haliburton's injury, especially because he started hot. 3 threes in the first quarter, 9 quick points, and really helped steady the Pacers' offense. So, Quan, question for you. You think the game ends differently if Tyrese is able to go and play the entire game?
Absolutely. I don't know if they win the game though, and I'm not going to use that injury as an excuse. I think that's weak for us to do. I think that Indiana had enough role players to fill in. Macaulay Culkin's been balling. It was just
he's been balling.
It's just unfortunate to see a Game 7 go down like that, right? It's just it is what it is. I hope he heals and gets back with a speedy recovery. He's great for the game, but absolutely, the game definitely changes when he's in the game. He's obviously had his moments of being inconsistent, which I'm sure somebody will bring up. But like you said, he started off hot, so and I think that I forgot the percentage was where when he hits his first shot of Indiana winning, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I forgot what it was. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Again, no excuse, and I won't say that Indiana would have won if he had stayed on. Obviously, I think it would have been a little bit more competitive, but yeah, that's my take on that with the injury.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that you're like, we don't know, because obviously that's the answer. But how you pointed out, his play when he gets going early and the Pacers play when he gets going early is astronomically different to when he does not get going early. And so I think this was obviously, he hasn't looked this aggressive in the finals. He didn't look, and he was taking like deep threes. I think the last one hit before the injury was, he took a shot, he missed the three, got the offensive rebound, and he was a couple steps behind the arc and cashed it. So it was no lucky shit either. No rim, no nothing. It was just cash.
And when you see shots like that fall early, your confidence is out the roof.
It's my night.
It's Game 7.
It's my night.
I could just speak that from experience and from seeing shooters like Tyrese start hitting shots like that. The rim starts looking like the ocean.
Yeah, no, he came out aggressive early for sure. And so I obviously, again, you don't know and you don't discredit what Oklahoma City was able to do, especially in that third quarter, because really, and I know they said it a lot on the broadcast, but Indiana didn't look like they lost their best player at all. They were keeping stride and actually led at halftime with Oklahoma City. Now their offense wasn't firing as it normally does, but they were actually leading going into half. And then credit to OKC, Mark Daigneault, the coaching staff, and the players. They just turned it up in the third quarter. There was a sequence where they had like 3 straight threes. And McConnell was really the only player keeping Indiana in the game. I think they did a great job defensively on Pascal, really honing in on him to say, hey, this is the guy that we got to stop. If somebody else beats us, then so be it. But Pascal's not going to beat us. And they did a good job. Pascal going 5 for 13 with only 16 points. And if Indiana needed to win, they needed like a 30 ball from him. So just fantastic. I mean, they had. I think I saw the graphic. This was either the fourth or fifth most wins ever in a season, postseason and regular season included. Tied one of Jordan's Bulls teams. So they showed you why they won 68 games in the regular season. Just great defense, timely bucket making, and then just a mentality of like, yeah, we got this, and that really showed. Like I said, in that third quarter, where it was just easy. It was easy
So let
offense.
me
I know you called that out. With Shea, he just got some easy offense too.
So I'm looking at the box score. So, right, like I said, I watched a few minutes of the game that I was able to. I will say OK's defense looked crazy while I was watching it. Chet with some big blocks.
He played his
Dort with
best
some
game by far.
big steals, and some big offensive rebounds, which that helps with the momentum because Indiana cut it down to, I believe, 10 or 12 with like 4 minutes left or something like that. But here's the thing, right? If I'm looking at the box score, Haliburton had 9 points. When did he get injured?
Early. Maybe it was like 6 or 5 minutes left in the first. Maybe a little bit less than that. But it was early in the game. It was in the first.
Check this out. Siakam only has 16 points. So Siakam only has 7 more points than Haliburton, and he played the whole game. He actually played a whole half hour more than Haliburton.
No, yeah.
Siakam has been the best player.
Oh, yeah, for
right?
sure.
We talked about that. So that's tough. It's very difficult to win that way. But I will say, great call out with TJ. TJ was 16 off the bench. That's great effort. Mathurin, I know Mathurin had a lot of late bucket points. I think he had like 9 or 10 in the fourth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And a lot was from the free throws because he was aggressive attacking the rim, which I like to see, especially when SGA had 5 fouls. Kind of like when I was tuned in. Nembhard had 15. Look, Turner was 6 points, bro. That's terrible.
I think Turner had one of his better games, at least defensively, in these finals. But I agree, his offense has just not been there. Especially his 3-point. His 3-point shot was not available.
Here's what I don't like to see. Obi with 0 points, bro. 0 for 4 with 21 minutes played. And he's one of those guys that even in game 6, when he was hitting those threes, I'm like, I forgot what game it was too when I told you. I was like, I didn't realize how good of a 3-point shooter he is.
Yeah.
So when he's not getting those buckets either, that's a real tough game to win. But shout out to OKC because obviously they stepped up with their defensive tenacity, which is what they lacked in game 6, like we talked about. It just seemed like they was ready to go home and close the deal.
Yeah, role players play better at home. I mean, and that we've seen it throughout these finals. Obviously, like you said, Obi had a rough game. Honestly, his worst game of the finals because every other game he's been hitting big shots, big threes. So, I mean, Indiana's going to be an interesting team moving forward, man. Especially in the East. Let's do a little look ahead. Let's start with Indiana. Obviously, their focus is, getting Tyrese Haliburton back, diagnosing the injury. I think his father said that it might be related to some kind of Achilles deal. So,
it's definitely Achilles.
Which usually happens when you play on a strained calf. So let's see what that looks like, whatever the extent of that injury is. But I mean, that could be a no Tyrese Haliburton next year kind of deal. Which would be
so late.
Absolutely
rough.
I
know. I was thinking about that because it's so late in the season. There's a great chance they're not going to have him.
I mean, just like JT for Boston. So that changes a whole lot in the East. I mean, that changes so much. You got two of the better teams, 2 of the top 4 teams in the East, potentially missing
Orlando,
the start.
Stepping up.
We don't want to speculate. Definitely not speculating on the Haliburton.
Bane is here.
If Haliburton, I know. I'm trying to finish this off. If Haliburton is not available, obviously Indiana is not going nowhere next season. And I don't think they should try to swing and react. You got a good core, but obviously you need your star back. And OKC, question for you on OKC. Do you think this is the first of a few?
I think it could be, bro. You know what's funny? When Chet had that dunk at the end, and then he had the rebound and got fouled on the rebound. It was towards the end of the game because, like I said, I looked up because I remember I remember Chet being in. There was a question mark whether to draft Chet or someone else. I couldn't think of who it was off the top of my head, and it was fucking Banchero. And I still think Orlando. I still think Orlando made the right decision. I think Banchero's a better player. I just think that Chet was fortunate to be on such a good team.
Landed in the right situation.
Right situation. I'm happy for him though because he had his first year didn't even count. He was technically a rookie the following year. Yeah, so it was good to see that. I didn't realize J-Dub. They drafted J-Dub that same draft, bro.
Later in the draft, yeah, they're both in the third year.
You know who could have drafted them or picked before?
I don't even want to know. Who was it?
It was the New York Knicks, bro.
I bet.
Yeah, so I think they could go for a run for this. Why not? SGA is a phenomenal, talented MVP caliber player, as he's proven. In fact, I think he's one of, I think it's 4, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am, but not many people's won the MVP and then the Finals MVP.
Yeah, I don't know what the number on that. I could tell you that he's one of 4 guards to win the MVP and then win the Finals, just in general. I think
it's only like 4 people, bro. I don't even think LeBron did it.
No, I'm not talking about the Finals MVP. I'm just talking about the regular season MVP and then win the Finals. One of 4 guards. Okay. It's Kuzi, Jordan obviously did it a bunch, and Steph, and then maybe Magic. So then maybe it's 5 of them to win the MVP and then the Finals, not the Finals MVP. So I'm not sure what that company is. MVP and Finals MVP. That must be some crazy company. I think because we said it, we hear this every year, right? After a team wins the championship, of like, why can't they do it again? Why can't they do it again? Mm-hmm. I think the difference with this OKC team is that, number one, you called it out, they're young. All of them are. They're not going to lose any talent. Chet is only going to continue to get better, right? Like you just called it out. J-Dub's in his 3rd year. Chet's in his 3rd year. So they're 2 of their best 3 players are only going to get better. Their oldest player is Caruso, and I think he's, like 30, 31 or something like that. They're only just going to continue to get better. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure who else in the West can really challenge them, barring like a Giannis to the Spurs teaming up with Wemby and Stephon Castle. Because even with the KD move, Houston's not there in my mind. Houston's a really good team. Though. Houston's not there in my mind.
I'll tell you why. I won't give up on. I won't say that just yet because I can't think of the center's name that was cooking.
Şengün.
Yeah, he was cooking, bro, and he was like the only consistent scorer on that team. Van Fleet had 2 games where he really cooked up, but you throw a KD in there, that's a dangerous team, bro. That's a dangerous team. I will say it makes it a little tough because Brooks is a solid defender, and even though he had a horrible playoff performance in Jalen Green, he's super athletic, and he did play his part to get that team to where they were. Just he came up short in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I won't count them out. I think Denver's still there, right? Because Denver took them 7.
Denver gotta make moves.
Why?
Denver gotta make moves. MPJ.
Why do they gotta make moves?
I think they'll move off of them. They need a bench. The only problem is they can't get a quality bench with all the contracts they have. So I think they're gonna move off of Michael Porter Jr. if possible.
They need bench. I seen that.
They got Michael killed Porter in them oranges. Obviously, they got the better superstar, but they need to make moves to bolster the bench. I mean, if anything, showed us that the finals showed us how important having a bench is. So they need that for sure.
That's what I want to say before we get off of this topic. Is I got, and especially in the group chat, there was a lot of talk about how the finals suck. They're not watching it. Because of the small markets, who cares? Lowest ratings. And I'm like, yo, to each their own, right? If you guys don't want to watch, you don't got to watch. And this is to anybody. This isn't to my guys in the chat. But, if you don't want to watch it, you don't want to watch it. What I will say is that if you decided not to watch it, you missed out. Yeah, there was some really great games in this series. And it was exciting to see that again. Because I felt like I haven't watched a good finals of that caliber in quite some time.
The Golden State last one against Boston was pretty epic.
Yeah, that was epic. That's because that's Steph. Like that. Steph always makes shit epic, though.
Yeah. So when you see like a legend, all-time great, especially because the Warriors have been counted out, like their time was done, and they came back and did that. It was dope. But yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I mean, game one was incredible. Haliburton's crazy-ass shot. There was only one game when then it was game 6 that was like really a blowout. I mean, even this game with Haliburton being out for a majority of it, it wasn't over. So absolutely. But I do want to talk about the East a little bit with Indiana. Obviously, of course, all that hinges on Haliburton's health. We already talked about that. But you kept on saying a team. Obviously, your Orlando Magic. Love the Desmond Bane thing. But here's what I want to talk about really quick. People are killing the Magic for the trade because the Magic gave up the 4 first rounders. They gave up Cole Anthony, KCP. Here's how I feel about that. Number one, if you're Orlando, because I believe all 4 of those picks were their own. I'm not sure. I don't think they were.
No, they gave away.
Did they get?
They gave away a good pick. I think it was from. I think it might have been from Phoenix or someone.
I want to get the details. I want to make sure I get this one right. I know they're 4 unprotected.
Unprotected. And it was someone else. It was another team's pick.
No, they're all theirs, but some of them have swap rights with the Suns or the Wizards. So those could end up being some decent picks. But the reason I don't hate it for Orlando, and everybody's like, oh, look at what KD went for. Well, number one, KD is going to be 37 when the season starts. So that's one, right? He's an older player. So obviously you're not going to get as much for an older player. That's one. 2, it's what Orlando needed. They know, and I love it from Orlando because we talked about it all the time. They finally did the right thing with their young star in Paolo, which is let's be aggressive and go get him help so he doesn't leave us. So you go get him Desmond Bane. Great defender, great shooter. We knew that's what they needed. They got killed in the non-Paolo minutes in the Boston series. You got a bona fide scorer, on ball, off ball, can create his own shot, shoot lights out. I love the trade for Orlando. Absolutely love it. You see a guy, that's your guy, you go get the guy. So you can keep your other guy. I'm not sure how you feel about it, but
I agree. No, I love that you have that perspective, right? Because we talked about it. Like, how many times Orlando has an elite player and they don't ever get him any support,
and so they leave.
For them to go do that, I'm happy about that. And you don't know what those picks can be. Now, mind you, they could be great picks, but
of course,
I think the percentage of our picks that haven't panned out is probably a lot more higher. I'd have to look into that to give you the correct stats, but you're getting a certified player. That's proven. So
that's it.
I'm cool with that. The amount, it seems egregious, but is it really? Like, that might be the new standard since Bridges and now Bane. That could be a new standard. Whether it is or not, who cares? Let's just say Orlando gets to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's a huge one.
They'll say that it was worth it because
absolutely
they never got to that. They never got to that. Obviously, since Shaq and Penny and them. But Turkoglu.
Dwight. Yeah,
Turkoglu and Dwight when they went to the championship in LA, and Kobe just smoked Peaches. Yeah, but It's been a long time, and they got a superstar, up and coming star. Where I always want to call him Pablo.
Pablo.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
he
want to
could
call him Pablo.
listen. He gets more consistency from a shooting percentage wise on his jumper. He could be a superstar.
Bro, he could be. Yo, he especially going to the game. He's a big guy, bro. He's a big guy. I was watching actually. They showed some clips and he was moving like LeBron. They showed like, you know how they do like almost like a reenactment, but it's just him. Uh, and no, I'm not comparing him to LeBron for those who are listening. I'm just saying I watched the clip that showed
You're
that.
already in enough hot water with the LeBron takes. I think
I love that though. I love that. I can fire back. I still gotta create my TikTok account so I can
shout out
respond
to
those.
everybody that started popping off. I
Bro,
appreciate
shout out
all
to the people. When you sent me the screenshot, the majority of them was on my side.
Nah, there's some people that was riding with you.
Yeah,
There's some people.
Pound for pound, Iverson is better.
Period. We could double back to that. But the reason I brought up the Desmond Bain trade, I agree, because number one, like the Mikal Bridges thing, right? A similar amount of first round picks. The Knicks gave up more, but they saw a guy, liked the guy, got the guy. Knicks get to the furthest they've been in 25 years. Was it a win? I mean, I don't know. You slayed the Boston Celtics. Now, granted, you don't get the ultimate goal, but you got further than you've gotten in 25 years. To your point, Orlando gets back to an ECF. They weren't getting to an ECF with the iteration of the team that they had this year.
No,
wasn't happening. Bain gives you offense. See a guy, get a guy, like you said, and I love that you said it. Proven commodity over unproven talent. You don't know what you're going to get in the draft. So, and Orlando's really they're not bad enough to be a lottery team. So they're always going to be outside of the lottery. So you're going to be picking. You're going to be picking 15 to 15 or later. I don't know.
And there's some gems you can find, right? Because there's been a lot of great basketball players who's been there. But
of course,
I think I think the biggest point that you made, which was great, was you're giving your star help before it's too late. Because if you don't act on those things, they pay attention. And they sure do. Know how this league is now. They're quick to leave. They're not stuck. They're not loyal to their teams like they once were, unfortunately. So yeah, I like that move, man. I even like the Houston move. Like, it was a lot, and you know, I'm interested already to see what's gonna happen next year, and still see what happens on this offseason.
I don't even think it was that much if you think about it from a Houston perspective. So you give back a first, which was Phoenix's own pick. They got back, which was the valuable pick. You didn't want Houston's pick. They lose Jalen Green. Okay, I get it. You know, up and coming. He was I think it's a second overall pick, and you give up Dylan Brooks, who's a solid player, and then and then Houston gives up 5 second rounders. But in return, you get back Kevin Durant, who you called out. Houston's biggest opportunity in the playoffs was the fact that they just needed a bucket other than Şengün. So now you have a bucket. You still kept VanVleet.
You're giving Şengün the post. You're giving Şengün the post now, because if you leave. You can't just leave
KD. You can't leave KD.
They're definitely not leaving. And Thompson,
he just got to get better offensively, shot making wise. He's a beast.
I agree, but he's a beast, bro. I'm not counting Houston out. I'm not counting.
So that's why I like the trade, because they didn't. The only young player they gave up was Jalen Green, but they didn't give up Tyrese. They didn't give up Jabari Smith Jr. You know, obviously they didn't give up Şengün. They didn't give up Amen Thompson. So they kept most of their young core together. So even when KD ends up, retiring, they still got a bright young future, and they just re-signed or extended Udoka's contract. So they're in a good spot.
I think teams that make trades like that, such as Houston and Orlando, and even the Knicks, they see the championships in their sight, right? Like they're already playoff contender teams. So now you're making a move for players who you feel is going to make you or help you make that jump. Then, like you said, absolutely go for it. Why? What are you waiting on?
Go for it. You can't. especially in this league, you can't count on next year or development. You have no idea what's going to happen.
None.
So, I mean, I obviously, especially what things are, the injuries that are happening in the East. I mean, that catapults Orlando in my mind to a top 4 team in the East to the coming season, I would imagine. Obviously, the
Yeah.
Cleveland is still there. The Knicks are still there. It's going to be interesting to see what Boston does. There's rumors that they might break it up. I think it'll be a huge mistake if they move Jaylen Brown. Absolutely massive mistake to move Jaylen Brown. Keep that core together of Tatum and Brown.
Great call out with the core, right? And I think that's another reason why when you asked the question about OKC running it back, absolutely. You got that core. They already got the chemistry. It's proven to work. Right? They just won the chip. So that goes a long way.
They have opportunities.
Having that team chemistry and that camaraderie. So
they got opportunities though. So if just doubling back to OKC real quick, if I'm Oklahoma City, and Sam Presti's a fantastic executive, so I'm sure he's noticed that their 3-point shooting got really dry at times, and that hurt them. So I would, if I'm looking to upgrade the roster anywhere, it's get me a knockdown 3-point shooter.
They'll get Porter.
That's an interesting prospect. He's such a streaky shooter.
He is streaky.
He's a streaky shooter. But that's what I would be looking for, just because I know they got guys who can make it. So yeah, obviously Case and Wallace can make it. I know he can take the shot, and Wiggins. But you just need someone that's a more consistent 3-point shooter, because that was a killer, especially in these finals. Like Indiana often outshot them from the 3-point line.
And the way that the game has been going, right? Like the majority of teams are taking threes now at an exceptional rate. That's another reason why Orlando did spend what they spent. We was last in 3-point percentage. This is the second year in a row, I believe. And I think it was transitional threes too. Like it was just bad. So, like we said, if you want to go get it, there's no point in sitting on it.
Be
Who knows
aggressive.
if you'll even be able to pick in 2029 with the fucking shit that's going on in this world, unfortunately.
That's a whole nother topic. But I mean, like I said, landscape in the East remains to be seen. We got to see what happens to fall off from Tyrese's injury. But like I said, I like Indiana. I'm not in. Well, if Tyrese could play next year, obviously Indiana. But Cleveland, New York, Orlando, even a diminished Celtics team, they're still a good team. But other than that, I mean, it's wide open in the East.
Yeah,
it is wide open. I mean, who else? I don't even remember Milwaukee.
I think Bulls was on the cusp, right? Bulls was on the cusp.
They got some players, but I think Kobe White is due up to get paid.
Yeah,
very free. Lonzo's a free agent, so they got some big moves to make too. It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm excited. I'm excited for this NBA summer. We'll do some power rankings too. We gotta get some power rankings out. Probably after the draft, we'll revisit the conversations, because then we'll see some player movement. If guys end up getting traded, it's normally around draft night, which I think is Thursday. So, and then Friday's the second round. So be on the lookout for some kind of power rankings or post-draft analysis from us, where we feel teams land. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to next season already.
Yeah, I really am. Me too. Like I said, this finals was a great finals, and even the playoffs in general was pretty solid, man. There was some great marquee matchups that I enjoyed watching. So yeah, I'm excited for the future of the NBA.
We really saw it all. We really saw it all. We saw great defensive performances, ridiculous comebacks. I've been on both sides of them.
A lot of big moments.
Just again with another long form episode. Thursday or Friday after the NBA draft, we'll chop it up then. Quan, appreciate you as always coming on the show, even if you watch the game or not. I'm fucking with you.
I always appreciate you too. I appreciate you holding us down while I've been getting my beauty rest.
Listen, we're going to continue to grow, which is a reminder as we wrap up the show. If you're not subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Follow us on our socials. They are right below us in the video. You can see them there right on the screen, or you could check the description of this video for all the links. Quan was getting killed on TikTok. Join the conversation. Either kill him,
Yes,
back him up.
I'm coming for y'all. I'm letting you know I'm coming for y'all. Pound for
more
pound,
hot takes.
Iverson is the best, is the better player.
I'm trying to tell him, just cut it out. Cut it out.
Period.
Cut it out. He's just not listening. But hey, more hot takes posted there too. So if you're not following already, go ahead, do yourself a favor and do that. It helps the channel grow. Appreciate you as always. And as always, think critically, speak infamously. We out.
Love.